right. Hey, thank you all for coming out. We wanted to give you an update on what's going on, but first let me introduce myself. My name is Lieutenant Mark Southall. My first name is M-A-R-K. My last name is S-O-U-T-H-A-L-L, and I'm a lieutenant with the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. To give you guys an update, we're on day 7 of this operation, and so far it's been a very successful operation for us. We've cleared out 1 million pounds of trash from these encampments that are in and around Oklahoma highways and interstates. We've talked to several hundred of the homeless population here in this area, and we've offered them resources. Only one of those people has taken up the offer for resources, unfortunately. So that's something that we'd like to see improve. We want people to take advantage of what we can offer and who we're partnering with. So we've got 0 arrests out of this deal so far. We haven't made any arrests, which again is not our mission. Our mission is simply the public safety issue of this. Oftentimes, like this camp we're at right now, they're just yards away from the highway and the interstate system, which is a major concern for us. We never intended to solve the problem of homelessness. That was not the intent of this operation. The intent of this operation was to move these folks away from these dangerous highways and interstate systems. We have seen too many crashes involving homeless people and auto pedestrian crashes that we're now able to do something. This became state law November 1st of 2024. After that, we were able to take advantage of that law, and we were able to begin to have some type of authority to remove these people from these dangerous roadways. Before that, we had to just hope that they didn't wander out into traffic and get hit by a car. So we're able to take a proactive approach and hopefully prevent the next tragedy. Yeah, go ahead.
What's been the biggest challenge for this?
Honestly, it's probably been just very, very long days. Most of the people that we have dealt with have all been very cooperative. They understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. So we're thankful to the homeless population for being so cooperative. And because that has happened, we haven't had to make any arrests. It's been very good. And it also goes to show you that these troopers are given a lot of compassion. They understand that these people have a lot of belongings. We understand that these people have lived in these areas for a long time. I could think of one guy that's lived in this particular encampment for 10 years. And we weren't able to do anything until this became state law in November of 24. So now we're able to do something about it. But it just goes to show you that the compassion that these troopers have for these people, and this really does come from a personal place for them, because these troopers, they're the ones that are working the crashes that the public doesn't see. They're the ones that are out with other first responders, I will say. They're the ones that see the firsthand damage of people traveling up and down these roadways at all hours of the day and night. So they're able to finally take initiative on this and again, have this mission that's proactive that hopefully prevents the next tragedy.
Have you gone to previous sites and found somebody trying to rebuild, or you asked them to leave?
Yes, we have. We've given multiple warnings to people, but there will become a time where we just can't give any more warnings and they'll force our hand. We have had camps that have been barricaded back up. Of course, we just clear those out again. Our goal is that people realize that they can't camp out here anymore. It is not an option, and they'll be run off, so don't take time to establish a camp here. And we're going to do periodic checks. After these initial camps are cleared, which we've cleared 64, by the way, in 7 days. After these initial camps are cleared, Troop B troopers will have to come through here and make sure that there's nobody camping and give people warning and then tell them they got to go. Again, it may get to a point where we do have to make arrests, but that is not our goal.
You say it's about public safety, but you're not taking people to jail and they're not going to treatment. And if someone has lived here for 10 years and they're displaced, what do you say to that person?
Yes, absolutely. But we cannot solve the problem of homelessness by ourselves.
You're not making it better.
Well, let me tell you what's going on here. So homelessness is a bigger issue. The more important issue is these people getting hit by cars.
Has someone gotten hit by a car?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, just a couple of months ago in Oklahoma City, homeless lady was walking down I-35. She got hit by a motorcyclist. Killed her, and the motorcyclist was critical. Almost all of these auto pedestrian crashes that we work here in Oklahoma, on these interstates in Tulsa specifically, involve a homeless person.
Why are you doing this in Tulsa then and not in Oklahoma City?
This is where we have more of an issue.
Are you coordinating with local here?
What's that?
Are you coordinating with local officials here in Tulsa
For-
and service providers?
For this particular operation, we did not coordinate with them. We were able to do it with the team of troopers that we have for the mission of what we have, which is removing these people from the state property, which is a violation of the law. We're able to do it with our team, but I will say though, looking forward, now that we've cleaned out these 64 camps, if there is an agency that wants to work with us, we'd be more than happy to work with any agency that wants us to help. And if we can be of any assistance in helping to solve the homeless problem, we're happy to do it. So any given day, we've had about 20 to 25 troopers. 738. Well, 737. We had one retire today. We hope to be done on the initial sweep by Tuesday.
Can you talk to me about some of the resources that were offered to some of the individuals?
Yeah, absolutely. We partnered with the Day Center for the Homeless. We also partnered with Women's and Children's Services. Women's and Children's Services had us covered. If we experienced somebody that was under the influence or had a real bad drug substance problem, we would take them there. Obviously, if someone's under the influence, they could go to jail for being under the influence in public, but that's not our goal. Our goal long term is to get them the help they need.
And did you approach those organizations or did they approach y'all?
We did. We approached them.
So what's happened to the people?
So we can't make these people go anywhere. We come to these properties, we tell them, hey, this is state property, we've warned you, we give them information, and we warn them that they cannot be here. Then we came in on Friday, and that's when we began clearing camps. So once they leave the state property, they've complied with that law. We can't make anybody go with us. We can't make anybody get help. All that they are obligated to do is leave state property. We can't forcefully make them go anywhere. And once they've complied, that's all we can do.
You said you want to be done by Tuesday. Are there more camps left untouched or did you complete that project?
There's more camps left untouched. There's one just north of us on the other side of Pine that is 1.5 miles long. Several. And we're still finding them.
So this weighing its toll already on, troopers and resources that already be stretched in.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a mission that we've got to do. Again, this is a duty and an obligation that we have as the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. When we see these trends rising, we see the homeless population in Tulsa rising, and we see these crashes begin to rise too because of that. We have a duty and obligation to take action when we see it, and that's what we've done.
You mentioned the crash in Oklahoma City. Could you tell us of an example here in Tulsa?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't give you an exact example, but I can tell you that multiple times that we work crashes, when you wake up in the morning and you hear of an auto pedestrian crash in Tulsa, it's most of the time not somebody that's got a stable job. It's most of the time someone that's homeless, unfortunately.
This is the second camp I've noticed that's by the railroad tracks. Has BNSF had to stop their trains at all? Or have
No,
you
sir.
asked them? Okay.
No, sir, they're working their trains. And I also want you guys to note how close to the roadway we are. That's a concern of ours. I'm not saying everybody, but oftentimes these homeless population may have a mental illness. They may be under the influence of drugs or alcohol, and those issues combined, walking around highways, make for a very dangerous situation. And that's where our priority lies.
One of the big criticisms has been, y'all are throwing away my papers. Do you tell them leave or do you give them time to grab what they can carry?
We absolutely give them time to carry. We actually brought vans with us in the early days of this operation to haul homeless to the shelters or to the services that we've offered, and to also carry their belongings. We've given them multiple opportunities to come back over a period of time to get whatever they need, and we've been very patient. And in fact, if you talk to some of the homeless, and I know some of you guys have, they've talked about how kind our troopers have been and how compassionate they have been to this situation, and we'll continue to do it. This isn't the first time that troopers have dealt with homeless people. We deal with homeless people all the time in the metro areas. We're very used to it. Our troopers are very, very skilled in talking with these people. That doesn't involve confrontation. So they're very experienced.
I know you said you're planning to wrap this up by Tuesday, but what's the long-term goal for the operation, especially if
Yeah.
the encampments build back up again?
Yeah, absolutely. The long-term goal is that these encampments don't become occupied again, and our troopers will continue to do periodic checks on these, and hopefully the homeless population realizes that camping on state property is not worth their time because they're not going to be allowed enough time to set up an official camp.
Is there any concern that these folks are just going to filter into residential areas, or is that not your problem?
Again, that's a bigger issue that has to be solved by the homeless, by the whole community. It needs to be solved by the city, by the county, and again, if we can be of any assistance in that mission, we absolutely will. But all we were doing here is enforcing the law of camping on state property. which I will say that the city of Tulsa has mentioned has been an issue. Back in March of 2025, they had mentioned that citizens were complaining about people camping out here along the highways, and the city of Tulsa said that they don't have the opportunity to enforce this, which is not accurate. This is a state law that can be enforced by the city and it can be enforced by the county. So if any other agencies want to join us in this operation, we're more than happy to have them on board.
As of right now, there's no partnership with local law.
Not right now. Again, if that wants to happen, we're more than happy to take part in that. Say again, Emery. So again, this is a public safety issue. If we see issues in other parts of the state that is a public safety issue, we will for sure take action. We have a duty and an obligation to keep people safe, and this is a way that we can do that.
So when you're picking people up, are you checking their names to see if there are any outstanding warrants or anything like that against them?
Yes, those that have ID'd are being ID'd because we've got them write them a warning. So we're writing them warnings and IDing them, and if we see somebody that needs to go to jail, they do, but honestly, we haven't taken anybody.
Have you all changed your approach since the unfortunate situation with the dog last week? Like, do you yell highway patrol while you're walking up or something like that? Or?
Yeah, these guys are trying to make themselves more noticeable. In that particular situation, those troopers were walking up to a camp, and a 65-pound pit bull that was not on the leash, he had a leash on his collar, but it was not attached to anything, came out from behind the tent and acted very aggressive to the troopers. The troopers, just like anybody else in this country and in this state, in this city, have the ability to protect themselves, and he felt like what he had to do at the time to protect himself was that. And so it's an unfortunate event. It is an unfortunate event, but our troopers have to protect themselves in these very dangerous situations.
What's your response to the mayor saying that this operation impacted some of the housing plans that were already in place for some of the homeless individuals?
I don't know enough about that to comment. I'm sorry. I'd have to learn more about that.
Do you know how many warnings?
How many warnings? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many warnings. I can get that to you later, Emery.
Of anything illegal, any kind of dangerous weaponry, any kind of recovery of stolen property? Have you found anything that you guys logged into booking or anything like that?
Yeah, I can tell you that we've encountered a lot of stolen property. Most of it's been destroyed, or not by us, in the camp. It's like bicycles that are torn apart to pieces and drills that have been broken apart and used for parts. So there's no doubt that there's lots of stolen property in there. We've also encountered, and it's been a dangerous situation for our troopers and for these crews, like hundreds and hundreds of needles. So it's definitely a worry for our guys.
And I just want to kind of hear your reaction. We have just the millions of pounds of trash. When you guys first started the operation, did you expect to uncover that much?
No, I can tell you we did not expect to uncover that much debris and trash. It's been quite remarkable. When that trash right there is probably a neighborhood worth of trash that these crews have cleaned up. So we're thankful for that. What's that? That would be a better question for ODOT. This is not costing our troopers anymore. These troopers are on regular shifts. The costs may go to ODOT. That would be the question to ask them. They've hired contractors to work this.
Where are these troopers? Are they Tulsa-based? Or where are the troopers?
No, these troopers come from all over the state.
And are they rotating in and out?
Yes.
Have you encountered any families with children, and do they get different treatment if you have?
We've encountered a few families. I don't know about the children issue. I can't be for sure on that, so I'd have to get back to you. But again, we're offering the same resources to everybody that we encounter. Women's and Children's Services and the Day Center for the Homeless. Any other questions?
You mentioned that you talked with some of the people that they've lived out here for 10 years, and they choose this lifestyle?
Yeah.
They just want to be in.
That's a great question. We've run into one particular individual who has lived out here for 10 years. He's actually engaged, and he chooses to live this lifestyle. His fiance lives in a house, seems to be doing really, really well for herself, but he chooses to live out here in this lifestyle. So that's something else that has to be contended with on a larger scale that right now we don't know the answers for.
So let me ask you about the needle situation. Are you all issuing tetanus shots out here, or did they have to come vaccinated before they could sign up for this?
Troopers?
Yeah.
I mean, they're all up to date on all their stuff.
There's no like, oh, if I poke myself, let's rush you to the hill front.
That happens even in our daily work, not just out here, and we deal with that as it comes. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate y'all being around here if you have any other questions. Thank you, man.
Appreciate
Good
your time.
seeing you again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.